Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Nar for the Nar Report. Back today with another episode. And I understand that I didn't go live yesterday because y'all know I go live every Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. But the reason why I didn't go live last night was because of the election. Donald Trump is president once again. Man, I wish it was Kamala, but hey, it is what it is. All right. But this is what I'll be talking about in today's episode. And if you haven't, make sure you sub to the YouTube channel and follow me on all of my social media platforms on Instagram and TikTok at D_NAR_report. Let's get into it. Starting off, we have some trades in the NFL. The trade deadline was yesterday at 4 p.m. I'll talk about some trades and what I think about them. I'll recap all of the Week 9 games and give y'all my Week 10 NFL predictions. Starting off with the trade deadline, one of the biggest moves that made the trade deadline was Zadarius Smith to the Detroit Lions was a big move. The Lions needed that after Aiden Hutchinson is out for the season, and the Lions defense is going to be scary now. Now, just imagine if he comes back next year alongside Aiden Hutchinson. That is the best defensive line in the league. So be on the lookout for the Detroit Lions. They are on a mission to win it all this year. And I believe they'll win the NFC, get the number 1 seed, and they will win the division. Another trade I would like to talk about, Mike Williams was trading from the New York Jets to the Pittsburgh Steelers. That was a good move by the Steelers because Russell Wilson needs another wide receiver to go alongside George Pickens. So that's why I love the move because Mike Williams is a good wide receiver. He can catch the deep balls. He can run the routes very well. What a pickup by the Pittsburgh Steelers. And they also made another move for edge rusher and Preston Smith. Man, Steelers making some moves, trying to win the division. I love what I'm seeing. Hey, the Steelers got a team over there in Pittsburgh. So I just can't wait to see what they do in the playoffs. And then the Baltimore Ravens trading for Tre'Davious White, the cornerback. Good pickup by the Ravens defense. Hopefully that helps their defense better. And Marshawn Lattimore traded for the New Orleans Saints to the Washington Commanders. Good move by Washington. They are in first place of the division. The defense is not bad, but it's not. I'm not going to say it's trash or awful, but it's solid. Hopefully Marshawn Lattimore, the cornerback, can help the defense out a little bit. But Washington is a playoff team. And that's it for the trade deadline. Now I'm here to recap all of the Week 9 games. Starting off with the Thursday night game, the Houston Texans took on the New York Jets. Jets win in an upset 21-13 in New York, breaking that 5-game losing streak. Man, you know what crazy is? Well, do you know what's crazy is? All these games I picked the Jets to win, they lost. Like, really, last 5 games, I picked the Jets to win. Now these boys finally want to show up. As soon as I pick against them, what was going on? I don't understand what happened. But anyways, though, Jets got the win. Let's talk about it. Aaron Rodgers, he had a good game. 22 for 32 for completion, threw for 211 yards, 3 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. Hey, Aaron Rodgers to Davante Adams is officially back, baby. Davante Adams scores his first touchdown as a New York Jet. Congratulations to Davante Adams. And by the way, the Jets played on Thursday night. It looks like the Jets found their stride. Right? They're clicking now. Offense going, defense is going. Now with the Jets getting back Hassan Reddick after that holdout, the defense looks good. All right. I'm like what I'm seeing from the New York Jets. So hopefully the Jets can go on a run. And the New York Jets season is not over. Okay? It's not over just yet. They can still make the playoffs. Their bye week is week 12. Their next after the Cardinals and the Colts, they're on the bye week. So if they can win their next 2 games and go 5-6, they have a shot at the playoffs. Now let's talk about the Texans. CJ Stroud had an awful game. 11 for 30 for completion, threw for 191 yards, 0 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. Well, first of all, that offensive line for the Houston Texans was trash. Okay? Because didn't the online want to block? Hello? Like, the online was just like, I could have suited up and sacked CJ Stroud by like 15 times. That's how trash the offensive line was. The defense was trash. The Houston Texans had an awful game. But that's it. Jets win 21-13 in New York, snapping that 5-game losing streak. Congratulations to the Jets. Moving on to the next game, the Sunday games. We got my Atlanta Falcons taking on the Dallas Cowboys. Falcons win 27-21. Man, Kirk Cousins has officially arrived in Atlanta. He's been balling since week 1. After week 1, Kirk Cousins has been on the tear. What a game by Kirk Cousins in this offense. 19 for 24 for completion, threw for 222 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. Bijan Robinson had a good game. Tyler Algier had a good game. Darnell Mooney has been on a tear since he arrived to Atlanta. He has been on a tear since he came to Atlanta. I'm glad that we picked him up in the offseason. Raymond McLeod scored his first touchdown as an Atlanta Falcon. He had a good game. Drake London had a good game, even though he got hurt with his hip injury. He is now day-to-day, but he'll be all right, though. He had a touchdown. Kyle Pitts, we're finally getting him involved. He had a good game. And the defense played phenomenally well as too. Even though we didn't force any turnovers, but we got some sacks, though. We finally got after the quarterback. This is what we've been waiting for the past 6 weeks. But I love what I've seen for this Atlanta Falcons team so far. We are now 6-3 of the season. We have a 2-game lead in the division. We're in the driver's seat right now with the Buccaneers losing on Monday night to the Chiefs. They're 4-5 of the season. And if Atlanta wins the next 2 games, just go ahead and give us the division. All right, just go ahead and give us the division at that point. And for the Cowboys, this is the funny part. We officially ended the Dallas Cowboys season. We actually did. They are 3-5. They played the Eagles, they played the Texans, they played the Commanders, and then they played the Giants. Dak Prescott is on IR too. But the question is, can Cooper Rush save their season? We'll have to see how that goes. But as of right now, the season is over. All right? The season is done. Dak Prescott, he had an okay game. 18 for 24 for completion, threw for 133 yards, 1 touchdown, and 0 interceptions. Cooper Rush, when he came in, he had a good game. And it looks like Cooper Rush might save their season. Who knows? Cooper Rush could come in and save their season. Now, we all understand that the Cowboys haven't won a home game all season, but shoot, they could get their first home win of the season with Cooper Rush. These next 4 games will determine if Dak Prescott was a problem or not for the Dallas Cowboys at the quarterback position. And that's it. Falcons win 27-21 in Atlanta. Moving on to the next game, we got the Washington Commanders and the New York Giants. Commanders win 27-22 in New York against their division rival, the New York Giants. Washington is playing excellent ball right now. Who expected the Commanders to be 7-2 of the season and in first place in the NFC East? I feel like if they beat the Steelers and the Eagles, they're winning the division. All right, let me go ahead and say that right now. If the Washington Commanders win their next 2 games against the Steelers and the Eagles, they will win the NFC East. Mark my words. Jaden Daniels, good game. 15 for 22 for completion, threw for 209 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. Washington's offense looks phenomenal. He has weapons. Austin Eckler, the running back. Terry McLaurin, the wide receiver. Washington got some weapons over there. But the defense still has a lot of work to do. But I feel like once they can get that defense together, Washington could be a scary team by playoff time. And then for the Giants, why did y'all pay Daniel Jones all that money? Like, why? The Giants haven't won a home game all season. Like, the Giants just suck. All right, that's all I gotta say. But that's it. Commanders win 27-22, and be on the lookout for the Commanders. In the next game, we got the Denver Broncos and the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens blow out the Broncos 41-10 in Baltimore. Let's talk about it. The Baltimore Ravens, best team in the AFC. They got the best offense in the league, one of the best offenses in the league. The best offense goes to the Detroit Lions, but the Ravens have a top 5 offense in the league. King Henry averages a touchdown every game. He averages a touchdown every game. That dude is unstoppable. That was a huge pickup for the Baltimore Ravens in the offseason. Lamar Jackson, he had a good game. 16 for 19 for completion, threw for 280 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. King Henry, 23 attempts, ran for 106 yards and 2 touchdowns. King Henry has been the Ravens offense. Okay? Let's be realistic. King Henry has been this Baltimore Ravens offense all season. He is the reason why they've been scoring a lot on offense. He drives them down the field and gets them on the board. The Ravens offense is phenomenal, and the Baltimore Ravens have a very great defense. But the defense has a little work to do, but the Baltimore Ravens, this is the team I have as the biggest threats to the Kansas City Chiefs. Yes, the Baltimore Ravens are my biggest threats to the Kansas City Chiefs. Now let's talk about the Broncos. The Broncos didn't have a good game because Bo Nix, he was awful. The offense was awful. The defense was awful. And this was crazy because I expected a close game, but I didn't know it was going to be a blowout. Shoot, that just let us know that the Broncos kind of had an easy schedule. But anyways, they're 5-4. I still believe they'll sneak into the playoffs, but they aren't going to do nothing. But that's it. Ravens win 41-10. Moving on to the next game, we got the LA Chargers and the Cleveland Browns. Chargers win 27-10 in Cleveland. Let's talk about it. Justin Herbert, good game. 18 for 27 for completion. Threw for 282 yards. 282 yards. He threw for 282 yards. 2 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. The Chargers are a playoff team this year. Coach Harbaugh is doing an excellent job in LA. Herbert finally has himself a coach. He finally got himself a head coach. The defense is great. The Chargers have a solid defense as well, too. So, and this is my official take, the Los Angeles Chargers will make the playoffs this year as the 6th or 7th seed. Now let's talk about the Browns. Jameis Winston did not have a good game. 26 for 46 for completion. Threw for 235 yards, 1 touchdown, and 3 interceptions. The Browns suck. And a lot of people had this team making the playoffs. I was like, see, before the season, I wasn't really high on the Cleveland Browns. I mean, the defense is good, but the offense has a lot of questions. Okay? And Deshaun Watson should be moved after this season. But that's it. The Browns suck. Chargers win 27-10. Then we go to Buffalo with the Miami Dolphins and the Buffalo Bills. Bills win 30-27. The Bills won off of a game-winning field goal with 5 seconds left. Both teams had a good game. Josh Allen had a good game. Tua Tagovailoa had a good game. The offense was good for both teams. The defense was good for both teams. The offense almost won the game, but that penalty at the end cost them. Let's talk about the stats. Josh Allen should be the favorite to win MVP right now because he is playing like a stud. And if he can beat the Chiefs, I believe that the Buffalo Bills could win the Super Bowl this year. But they got to beat the Kansas City Chiefs. And they can beat the Chiefs, but they got to figure out how to beat them in the playoffs when it matters. But they can beat them in the regular season. Josh Allen, 25 for 39 for completion, threw for 235 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception. He had a good game. Tua Tagovailoa, he had a good game. And ever since Tua came back from injury, he has been playing very good. But the Dolphins hasn't been finding ways to win the game. Tua Tagovailoa, looking at his stats, 25 for 28 for completion, threw for 231 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. Dolphins, good game. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody expected the Dolphins to put up a fight. All right. Because we all know the Dolphins don't play good in cold weather and stuff like that. But they put up a fight against the Buffalo Bills. And they almost won the game too. So I like what I've seen from the Miami Dolphins. And that's it. Bills win 30-27. Next up, we got the New Orleans Saints taking on the Carolina Panthers. Panthers win 23-22 in Carolina and get their second win of the season. Now, as a Falcons fan, this is hilarious. Saints, how did you lose to the Panthers? They are the worst team in our division. The worst team in our division. And you lost to them? And not only that, you started off the season 2-0. And everyone was like, oh, the Saints are contenders. They're going to win the division. And now for the next 7 games, y'all forgot how to play football. And Dennis Allen has been fired after this game. They'll play this Sunday against the Atlanta Falcons, so we'll see how that game goes. And Chris Olave is probably going to be out for the season with a concussion. But anyways, let's talk about it. Derek Carr, he did not have a good game. 18 for 31 for completion, threw for 236 yards, 1 touchdown, and 0 interceptions. The offense was good. The defense was good. The Saints put up a fight, but they should have beaten the Panthers, okay? Like, the Panthers are garbage. Bryce Young, he had a good game. 16 for 26 for completion, threw for 171 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. Just give Bryce Young his starting job back, all right? Carolina Panthers, if you can hear me, give Bryce Young his starting job back because he deserves it. And all the Panthers need to do is give him an offensive line and get him some receivers. That's really all he needs. And a good coach. Because Bryce Young is not the problem in Carolina. All those things that I listed are the problem. And that's it. Panthers win 23-22. Moving on to the next game, we got the Cincinnati Bengals blowing out the Las Vegas Raiders 24-41 in Cincinnati. The Bengals are back. The Cincinnati Bengals are back to being a playoff contender. And here's a question. Why do the Bengals always start off the season slow and then by week 5, they pick up their momentum? But here's the thing that we learned about in sports and in life, period. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. And the Cincinnati Bengals will finish with a good season. They'll have a winning record, and they'll make the playoffs. Yes, the Cincinnati Bengals will make the playoffs at either 10-7, or 11-6. Let's talk about it. Joe Burrow is back. He had a good game. 27 for 39 for completion, threw for 251 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 1 interception. The offense was good. The defense was great for the Bengals. And for the Raiders, they suck. Gardner Minshew, he got a pretty good game. Don't get me wrong. 10 for 17 for completion, threw for 124 yards, 0 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. Did the Ravens even score a touchdown? Raiders score a touchdown offense? Because I feel like the defense did the job. Or the running game. But ever since Devontae Adams left the Raiders done fallen off a cliff. And that's it. Bengals win 41-24. Moving on to the next game, we go to Tennessee. We had an overtime thriller between the New England Patriots and the Tennessee Titans. Titans win 20-17 in overtime. Let's talk about it. Drake May, at the end of the game, became Superman. 4 seconds left. Needed to tie the game. He was looking. He was scrambling out the pocket. Touchdown to Ramondre Stevenson. Ties the game up and sent it to overtime. Titans get the ball first in overtime. They went down the field and got the field goal, and the defense got the stop. And to be realistic with you, I don't really have nothing much to say about these two teams because they suck and they'll be fighting for the draft. But I picked the Patriots to win this game, but I wasn't surprised that the Titans got the job done. In that set, Titans win 20-17. Then we go to Arizona. We officially go with the 4:00 games. Cardinals win 29-9 against the Bears. But first off, let me start off by saying this. Chicago Bears, what happened? What happened? By a couple weeks ago, I feel like ever since that Hail Mary, hunted the Bears because, geez. And it might even hunt them making the playoffs because I don't understand what's going on with the Bears. Caleb Williams, awful game. Offense was trash. The defense was awful. And if y'all didn't know that one player from the Bears who was taunting the fans in Washington was benched for that game. But the Cardinals, amazing game. Kyler Murray, he had a good game. 13 for 24 completion, threw for 154 yards, 0 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. But this is more on the running game. The running game was elite for the Arizona Cardinals. And now that the Cardinals are 5-4 this season, they are in first place in the NFC West. Congratulations to the Arizona Cardinals. And I'm not congratulations like they won the division, but the Cardinals could end up in the playoffs. All right, this Arizona Cardinals team could end up sneaking into the playoffs this year. Now, they won't win the division, but they can end up sneaking into the playoffs. In that set, Cardinals win 29-9. Then we go to Philly. We had a thriller in Doug Peterson's revenge game and his return to Philly. Eagles win 28-23. Jalen Hurts, he had a good game. 18 for 24 for completion, threw for 230 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. Now, a lot of people are saying this on Nick Sirianni. Nick Sirianni is doing his job, okay? He's a good coach. He led the Eagles to the Super Bowl 2 seasons ago. And him and Jalen Hurts will bring a Super Bowl to the city of Philadelphia. To Philadelphia, okay? So all that, he should be fired. He's not doing his job. Nick Sirianni is doing an amazing job, and I'm proud of him of all the work that he has done. The Jaguars, they played a good game. The Eagles were up 22-0, and the Jaguars almost came back. The Jaguars almost came back and won this game. But at the end, Trevor Lawrence did not have to make that throw when it was intercepted by deemed by the Philadelphia Eagles. He did not have to make that throw. But that's it. Eagles win 28-23 in Philly. Moving on to the next game, we go to Lambeau Field with the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers. Lions win 24-14. Jared Goff has been on a tear this season. The Detroit Lions, the best team in the NFL. Jared Goff, when was the last time this dude threw a completion? Incompletion to Amon-Ra St. Brown. It's like ever since Jared Goff and Amon-Ra St. Brown got on the same page, they haven't thrown an incompletion to each other. I mean, Jared Goff has been playing like an MVP. All right. And he should be the favorites to win MVP. Because by the way this dude is playing, the Lions are going to make it to the Super Bowl. Okay. They're coming out the NFC this year. All right. But let's go to the stats. Jared Goff, amazing game. 18 for 22 for completion, threw for 145 yards, 1 touchdown, and 0 interceptions. Jahmyr Gibbs, he had a touchdown. Amon-Ra St. Brown had a touchdown. I feel like Jared Goff and Amon-Ra St. Brown, they be on the same page every game. Amon-Ra St. Brown gets a touchdown every game. That's the Lions' offense. And the defense is phenomenal. Even though with Aiden Hutchinson out for the year, the defense has been doing their job. But now since they got Zadarius Smith, that defense is going to be scary now. The pass rush is going to be scary. The secondary is scary. watch out for the Detroit Lions. They are the team to be in the NFC. Now let's go to the Packers. Jordan Love, he didn't have a good game. He was hurt a lot, but hey, he couldn't do nothing with that Lions defense. The Lions got the best defense in the league. All right. I know I said this in the last video that the Steelers got the best defense in the league, but the Detroit Lions have the best defense in the NFL. If you want to debate, we can debate in the comments. But hey, Lions got the best defense in the league. And that's it. Lions won 24-14 and improved to 7-1 of the season. And just a reminder, the Lions' one loss came for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in week 2. Since week 2, the Lions been playing like the best team in the NFL. Next up, we go to Seattle. What a game we had. Rams win 26-20 against their division rival, the Seattle Seahawks. The NFC West is a tight division right now. You got Seattle, you got the Rams, you got the Cardinals, and you got the 49ers. As of right now, that division's up for grabs. Any one of those teams could win the division. But the 49ers will win the division, though, because they are the team to beat. CMC is supposed to be coming back this weekend. The defense is still good. The offense will still be great. So the 49ers will win the division. But I won't be surprised if the Seahawks, Rams, or Cardinals win it as well, too. But let's get to the game. The Rams, what a game. Matthew Stafford, he balled out. Well, technically, he didn't ball out. He had a solid game. 25 for 44 for completion, threw for 298 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. The Seahawks, Geno Smith, he had a good game, but it wasn't enough to beat the Rams in overtime. And here's my point, though. When it was 4th down, the Seahawks went for it. Why won't you kick the field goal to go up 23-20 and get a stop on defense? You win the game. But it all started when the Seahawks were in the red zone. They were like on the 6-yard line, and Geno Smith throws a pick 6 for 106 yards. I'm like, Geno, what are you doing? The Seahawks are the most inconsistent team in the NFL. This team started off 3-0, and now they're 4-5. Well, what's going on in Seattle? Is Geno Smith the problem? Like, what is going on? But the Rams, they look like the playoff team. All right. Matthew Stafford still playing at a high level. He got 2 elite wide receivers in Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua. And the Los Angeles Rams have a good defense as well, too. So be on the lookout for the Rams as they're trying to make a push to the playoffs. And that's it. Rams win 26-20 in Seattle. Then we go to Sunday night. We got the Colts and the Vikings. Vikings win 21-13. What a bounce back win. What a bounce back win by the Minnesota Vikings after starting off 5-0 and losing 2 straight. Now, overall, let's talk about this game. This was more of a defensive game because the offense really didn't even do nothing for both teams. This was just all on defense. The Colts defense was good. The Vikings defense was good. There were turnovers back to back. This was a defensive game. And both offenses were all right, but this is more of a defensive game, but I like what I've seen from both teams. But that's all I got to say on the Colts and Vikings game. I believe both teams played phenomenally well. The defense was good, and the offense was good too for both teams. But this was more of a defensive game. And that's it. Vikings win 21-13, improved to 6-2 of the season. Last but not least, Monday Night Football. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Kansas City Chiefs. What a game. In overtime. Nobody expected the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to put up a fight with the Kansas City Chiefs and lose in overtime. Who expected this game to go to overtime? And everybody was looking at this game like, oh, the Bucs, they don't got Mike Evans. They don't got Chris Godwin. Oh, the defense ain't really that good. Chiefs should really blow them out by like 20 points. But no, This Tampa Bay Buccaneers team walked into Arrowhead Stadium and put up a dog fight. Baker Mayfield played his heart out. And let's go to overtime during the coin toss. Buccaneers were the visitors. They get to call the toss. They chose tails, and it was heads. Chiefs got the ball. Baker did this. He knew if the Chiefs win the toss, it was over. Like, and I say this, whoever gets the ball first is going to win the game. And Chiefs got the ball. They won the toss. And we all know when the Chiefs win a coin toss in overtime, it's a wrap. Okay? Mahomes in overtime turns into Tom Brady. Mahomes and Travis Kelce turn into Brady and Gronk. It's that simple. Mahomes, he had a good game. The offense was great. The defense is good. Travis Kelce's officially back, getting involved. The defense was good for the Chiefs. The Buccaneers played a great game. Offense was good. The defense was good. But the Buccaneers put up a fight. I love what I've seen for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And here's the thing. When I watch these games, I don't like seeing blowouts. Okay? I don't like seeing blowouts. I love seeing close games. I love seeing battles. I like seeing games coming down to the wire. And that was Monday Night Football. What a game. Now, if the Buccaneers upsetted the Chiefs, this would have been upset of the year. All right. That would have been upset of the year. And it's not even close. But that's it. Chiefs win 30-24 in overtime and improve to 8-0 this season. The Kansas City Chiefs are the only unbeaten team in the NFL. Now, we go to my Week 10 NFL predictions. Starting off with Thursday Night Football. So for those of y'all that don't know, Week 10 of the NFL kicks off tomorrow night. Now, I usually say Thursday night, but since today is Wednesday, this Week 10 of the NFL season kicks off tomorrow night with the Cincinnati Bengals and the Baltimore Ravens. What a good game this is, okay? The Bengals trying to stay alive for the playoffs. The Ravens are fighting for the division chances with the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is going to be a good game, all right? It's going to come down to the wire. I believe this game will go into overtime again, just like it did in Cincinnati. But I got the Ravens beating the Bengals in a gritty, close, high-scoring game. Final score 37-34, like it ends around that time. So 37-34, around that margin will be the final score of the game. And then, so I got the Ravens beating the Bengals. And then we have a Germany game. First Germany game of the NFL. We got the New York Giants taking on the Carolina Panthers. Now, before I talk about this game, I want to ask y'all a question. Who is watching this game? All right. I'll be real with you. I'm probably not going to be waking up early and watching this, okay? I might tune in a little bit and then change it, or I might just look at the score, look at the stats, but I'm really not watching this game, okay? Both teams 2-7. The offense is trash. The defense is trash for both teams, and the coaching is horrible. All right? I don't think nobody is going to wake up on Sunday and be like, hey, I'm going to wake up for the Giants and Panthers. Like, no, nobody is watching that game. But anyways, I got the Panthers beating the Giants. Next up, we go to the Sunday 1 o'clock games. We got the Bears and the Patriots. Bears, we're going to try this again. I got the Chicago Bears beating the New England Patriots at home in Chicago. Bears, if y'all lose this game against the Patriots, I lost all hope. All hope is lost. Because I got this team making the playoffs, and I said this a couple weeks ago, the Chicago Bears can end up winning the division. But now, that Hail Mary hunted that team a lot because they should have won that game. Next up, we got the Buffalo Bills taking on the Indianapolis Colts. I got the Bills beating the Colts. We got the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. I got the Vikings beating the Jaguars. We got the Denver Broncos taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, don't get me wrong. I feel like the Denver Broncos could upset the Kansas City Chiefs. Yes, that defense is good enough to keep up with the Chiefs' offense. They can put pressure on Patrick Mahomes. They can slow down Travis Kelce. But I'm still taking the Kansas City Chiefs over the Denver Broncos. Next up, we got my Atlanta Falcons flying into New Orleans, taking our division rivals, the New Orleans Saints. The Falcons will beat the Saints because the Saints are horrible. I don't know how the new Saints team will look after a new coach. So we'll see. But the Falcons will beat the Saints. That's all that matters. Next up, we got the San Francisco 49ers taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Christian McCaffrey will be returning back from his injury, so the 49ers will beat the Bucs. But I won't be surprised if the Bucs win. Then we got a good one in Washington between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Washington Commanders. I got the Steelers beating the Commanders in a close game. Next up, we go to the 4 o'clock games. The Tennessee Titans take on the Los Angeles Chargers. I got the Chargers beating the Titans. We got the New York Jets taking on the Arizona Cardinals. Give me the Jets over the Cardinals. That's my upset. We got the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Dallas Cowboys. I got the Eagles beating the Cowboys. Sunday Night Football, we got a good one. The Detroit Lions and the Houston Texans. I got the Lions beating the Texans by 10 to 15 points. But I feel like it will be a close game. And then for Monday Night Football, I'm going with another upset. I got the Miami Dolphins beating the Los Angeles Rams. I love what I've seen from this Dolphins team last week against the Buffalo Bills. So I'm picking them to win this game against the Los Angeles Rams. And I'll go over my Week 10 NFL picks again. I got the Ravens beating the Bengals. I got the Panthers beating the Giants. I got the Bears beating the Patriots. I got the Bills beating the Colts. The Vikings will beat the Jaguars. The Chiefs will beat the Broncos. The Falcons will beat the Saints. The 49ers will beat the Bucs. The Steelers will beat the Commanders. The Chargers will beat the Titans. The Jets will beat the Cardinals. The Eagles will beat the Cowboys. The Lions will beat the Texans. And the Dolphins will beat the Rams. So that's Ravens, Panthers, Bears, Bills, Vikings, Chiefs, Falcons, 49ers, Steelers, Chargers, Jets, Eagles, Lions, and Dolphins. Those are my teams that I got winning this week. And 4 teams are on the bye week, and that's the Browns, the Packers, the Raiders, and the Seahawks. And that concludes today's show of the NAR Report. Thanks for everybody that joined. I appreciate all the love and support. Make sure to sub to the YouTube. Follow me on all of my social media platforms at D_NAR_report. I will be back next Tuesday at my original time, 7 p.m. The reason why I didn't do this last night was because of the election. And that concludes today's show. Have a good rest of your night. Nard out.